In 1986, an album was released that sold 4 million copies and became a cornerstone in the new traditionalist movement in Nashville. Many artists have been inspired by this project, including Alan Jackson, Brad Paisley, Kenny Chesney, Carrie Underwood, and Tim McGraw. Now Randy Travis is re-releasing many of those same hits, accompanied by some of today's hottest artists who still look up to him. We sat down with Randy to talk about some of the tracks on the new 25th anniversary celebration.
More life, more time.
Don Henley did a wonderful job singing on More Life, and that happened like this. We were tracking that day. Don was in a room down the hall doing vocals on a project he was working on. I'd never met him. We said hello, Kyle, a couple of people at the record label. So later on, they asked if he would sing something on this album, played More Life for him. He said he would do it. Now, I wasn't in the studio that day. I wish I could have been. Kyle said he came in and said, I won't sing lead on this song. I will sing harmony. He said, this is not a duet. And that says a lot about him, because I felt the same thing. This song does not lend itself to a duet at all. But he did a great job singing there, nevertheless.
It's good to know there's still a few old country boys around.
Jamie Johnson, who I really enjoy as a singer and writer, have had the opportunity to work with him in both areas, you know. We've written one thing together, and he really is a talent. I really and truly enjoy what he does. He came in and said he wanted to sing on the thing that Georgia Jones and I did together originally. So on this time around, I sang George's part. And I'll say this about Jamie, I was surprised at how well he walked in and made that song his from a vocal standpoint. And that sounds probably easy, but not necessarily, not all the time anyway. Sometimes you struggle to get whatever that version is out of your head and go in another direction, and he did an amazing job.
Is it still over? Are we still through? Since my phone still ain't ringing, I assume it still ain't you.
Carrie Underwood came in and sang on that. When she was asked to do something on this and said, just pick anything you want, if you want something new, if you want to do one of the older songs. And then when she came back with that, I'd like to work on another version of Is It Still Over? My first thought was, are you serious? But, you know, Carrie can sing anything. I mean, she truly would be the most versatile singer I've ever seen in my life. I really think she could sing any format and make it believable. And there's not too many I would say that about.
I thought that he walked on water.
Kenny Chesney was nice enough to say, yeah, he'd work on this 25th project. And I've known Kenny since his first year of touring. And I met him over, for those who remember this, I met him, I think it was first over at Ralph Emery's Nashville Now show. So it goes back several years, and I remember him telling me that he and some friends, when they were in college especially, were playing some of the things that I had been recording or writing to some back in those days. And then he sang some promises to me there, I remember that night. And so he said he'd like to sing on He Walked on Water. He had two in mind to begin with, but then he landed on He Walked on Water, and man, he did a great job.
Live while I'm alive like that, and everything and all like that.
Everything and All Like That is one of those songs you find once in a while. You know there's nothing serious about it whatsoever. It's just fun from a musical standpoint. The words are funny. You just want to record it for that purpose, and so we did. And then Brad Paisley had heard the version we put down, and he was nice enough to come in and play some guitar on it and sing on it. And of course, did a great job. He's an incredible musician. He truly is a great musician and does a great job as a singer too.
Didn't we shine? Didn't we shine?
Didn't We Shine was one of those days, and one of those songs that I love. But that day in the studio, I would have to say I enjoyed more than probably any other I have ever spent working in a studio. Because I'm looking at Gene Watson, Joe Stampley, Lori Morgan, Connie Smith, George Jones. I wish I could say Ray Price, but Ray came later, so I still got to spend that time in the studio with him. But I'm there with these guys that day putting this down. There were so many singers and players in the studio, we had to have 2 rooms. Everybody playing across the hall here. We're all over here singing in another small room across that hall, and it was special. We thankfully had video running on all that, and there are people coming from everywhere just to be sitting or standing, whichever, in the room behind the glass and watching all this go down. So it was really neat.
We still have lots more ahead, including a trip to the Greens to catch up with Tracy Lawrence next. Don't go away. We'll be back with more Inside Music Row right after this.